Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your love reading for July 2019. This is Elizabeth from channelguidance.com. I've already shuffled the decks and you did have a few jumping cards. Let me show you what they are. From this deck, this is a card that jumped right away. The card that you have is the Hierophant. So for some of you, the Hierophant can represent the sign of Taurus. This can be your current partner. It can represent an ex. It can even represent you. Now the Hierophant also means that there's kind of a spiritual connection between you and someone. This is you feeling like this is the one. This is a person that I belong with. This does represent kind of soul family, kindred spirits, and soulmates. Now from this deck over here, you had two jumping cards, which are very similar. The first one was the Eight of Swords, and then the other one was the Ten of Wands. So it's kind of, I mean, they're different cards, but it's the same energy. Here, you may be feeling kind of really trapped in a situation. For some of you, I guess you could be feeling trapped in a relationship if you really kind of want to leave that situation. But this also just means that you kind of feel restricted. You feel like there's nothing that you can do about what's going on in your love life right now. It could be you, or it could be that your partner's making you feel that way. You also have the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands is feeling, there is some type of heavy energy around your relationship or your marriage, a heavy burden. With this card, usually someone they almost feel like they want to give up, especially with something like the Eight of Swords jumping with it. So let's put these back. These are just jumping cards. And let's go ahead and start with this deck right here. Let's put the Hierophant somewhere here in the middle. We'll see if it comes up again. Okay, so let's start with 9 cards for you. This is a love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for July 2019. The first card you have is the Three of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for July. Queen of Coins. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for July. Five of Coins. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for July. Nine of Coins. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for July. Six of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for July. The World. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for July. Here it is again, the Hierophant. So with your jumping card, so that is very significant for you. Let's see what comes with it. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for July. Wow, I'm stunned because remember, this was a jumping card from the confirmation deck, and here it is again with the Hierophant. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for July. And the Devil. What's the most important thing that Sagittarius needs to hear about their love life for July 2019? The message that you have, Sagittarius, is the Hangman. So, I mean, this goes kind of hand in hand with everything that we've seen. The Hierophant, the Eight of Swords, and I forgot what the other one was. The Ten of Wands. This is feeling kind of stuck in what's going on in your love life right now. This means that you're in limbo. It could be that maybe you want the relationship to move to the next level. Maybe your partner is not making decisions. Maybe they're kind of making you feel stuck. This is a major arcana, so it's something significant that is affecting you. So we'll come back to this card to see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. If you would like to get a private reading with me, just go to my website, channelguidance.com, and I'll put a link down below. Okay, so you have the Three of Wands, the Queen of Coins, and the Five of Coins. So, I mean, this is what I see here. I see that you've been waiting for somebody with the Three of Wands. You've been waiting for somebody to come around, and I see, have a lot of emotional pain around you. You have the Five of Coins. To me, this is a card of feeling kind of lonely. You feel isolated, and it usually comes up when somebody has just completely cut you out of their lives, maybe with no explanation at all. You just feel kind of emotionally shut out. So for some of you, you've been waiting maybe for this Queen of Coins, which would be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, male or female, sun, moon, or rising, but can also represent you if you have a moon or rising and an earth sign. This is somebody close to you, someone significant. I just see, you've been waiting for this person. The Three of Wands does mean, maybe you've been waiting for the perfect timing to approach them. It could also go the other way around, since this is a general reading. It could be that this person has been waiting maybe for the perfect timing to reach out to you, maybe to explain things, to work things out with you. But there is suffering there with the Five of Coins. Someone feeling just kind of really hurt and feeling like somebody just completely has slammed the door in their face emotionally and has completely locked them out. Now in the second row, Nine of Coins, Six of Swords, and the World. So, I mean, the good news is there is positive change here, because you do have some challenging cards in the first row, and especially the bottom row. There is a chance here for the sign of Sagittarius to move forward in your relationship, in your love life, in a much healthier direction, calmer waters. But you have to think of yourself first. You have the Nine of Coins. This means that you have to kind of think of your own integrity, your self-worth. Don't compromise too much for someone that maybe is putting you through a lot of pain and suffering, which we see up there. It doesn't mean you have to let them go, but maybe it means you have to really make the decisions that are in your best interest. Maybe you really have to speak up for yourself, especially for those of you where you've been waiting for a while. It's time for a new cycle for the sign of Sagittarius. You have the World. So again, if you've been through a really troubled relationship or a troubled marriage, it's time for that chapter to end and for you to be in a much healthier space with the Six of Swords. And it can happen. This means that you can leave that troubled time behind you, but you've got to make the decisions that are best for you. And you have to think of your own self-worth first. So especially if there is a relationship where someone's just putting you through a lot of stuff, and you feel like you're being taken advantage of, or you feel like there's something abusive going on, there is some negativity here. Although keep in mind that this is a repeat card because it jumped, I put it back, and then here it is again. So I feel either there's a Taurus involved, because this represents a sign of Taurus, or you just feel like this person that you're in love with, or that you're dating, or that you're married to, you feel like this is the one. This is kind of my soulmate. This is, you know, that kind of soul family energy. This is the person I belong with. We have that spiritual connection. But look at the energy that comes with it. You have the Eight of Swords, which again, this is feeling like I can't fix this and I don't know what to do about it. This is feeling like your hands are tied behind your back, feeling, although it can be your partner feeling kind of trapped by fear, because the Devil can also represent fear. Although keep in mind that the Devil also represents the sign of Capricorn. So for some of you, it can be that your partner is a Capricorn or your ex. But the Devil can, I mean, this is a huge energy of fear, pessimism, negative thoughts, negative behavior patterns. Although it can also represent kind of an unhealthy relationship, toxic behavior, just kind of darkness. And maybe your relationship is going through a dark time and maybe you don't know how to fix that with the Eight of Swords. Maybe you feel powerless. For some of you, it could be that it's time to really trust your intuition, because the Hierophant also does represent spiritual energy. Trusting your intuition, trusting that there's guidance around you for those relationships that are really kind of meant to move in a better place, which we see with the Six of Swords and the World. Okay, let me get a few more here. What other messages are there for the sign of Sagittarius for July? You have the Eight of Coins. What other messages are there for the sign of Sagittarius for July? The Seven of Swords. What other messages are there for Sagittarius for July? And the Ace of Cups. So there can be a new beginning there with the Ace of Cups. There can be, you know, kind of a healing of a relationship or of a marriage. This is you know, kind of a clean slate, a fresh start for a relationship, especially one where there's been kind of a lot of negative energy, a lot of arguments, a lot of darkness with the Devil being here. You do have a lot of work to do. You have the Eight of Coins. This means that a lot of kind of care, a lot of time, a lot of effort has to be put in to making this new beginning happen. And everyone has to go into this with their eyes wide open, because you have the Seven of Swords, which means that either someone doesn't want to acknowledge their behavior, someone's choosing to look the other way, or this could be a partner that is kind of self-serving. You know, they are their own worst enemy. The Seven of Swords is sometimes self-deceit and denial. Someone is just kind of maybe even placing all the blame on you, because you have the Nine of Coins, which is saying, like, don't compromise your own integrity. Do what's best for you. I just feel, it seems like this has come up for a lot of the fire signs. I know Leo had the most difficult reading, a lot worse than you see here. This is just telling you that a relationship needs a lot of time and effort, and everybody has to keep their eyes open and really kind of admit the truth here, because this can represent self-deceit. It can be you, or it can be the person who's creating this negative energy from the Devil. But there can be a new beginning if everyone is willing to put a lot of effort into rebuilding this relationship. You can definitely have a new cycle. It's time to close the door to the past, especially if you've had kind of a lot of ups and downs in your current relationship. Keep in mind the main energy was the Hangman. Maybe you've been stuck in this negative kind of phase in your relationship or marriage. You've been in limbo. Maybe you've been waiting, because that was your very first card, waiting for this person to come around, and there's been a lot of suffering around this. You've been stuck, you've been in limbo. It's time for you to make decisions that are best for you, which we see right here. Okay, let's get some cards from the confirmation deck. What other messages are there for Sagittarius about their love life for July? You have the Nine of Cups. What other messages are there for Sagittarius about their love life for July? You have the Five of Wands. What other messages are there for Sagittarius about their love life for July? And the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, what's the most important thing that Sagittarius needs to hear about their love life for July 2019? The message you have, Sagittarius, is the Three of Cups. I mean, so this is exactly what you want to see, because this means that there can be happiness again. There can be joy. There can be laughter. I mean, this is a card of family, love, children. You can be happy again, although, you know, there's some challenging energy here. It's something that can be worked on. Okay, so let's take a look at these last three cards that I pulled. I mean, and here is a further confirmation. You have the Nine of Cups. This is you being immensely happy. This is you being so happy you don't know what to do with yourself. This also can represent wish fulfillment. So if your wish is to fix your marriage, or, you know, kind of work things out with your current partner, or maybe get back together with the next, you have the energy of a wish being granted here. You also have the Ten of Pentacles, which is a card of stability. This is a very stable relationship, a very committed relationship. It can even be something that leads to marriage, or it can represent the marriage that you're currently in. Just know that there is some type of struggle here between these two cards, the Five of Wands. This can be maybe that there's a lot of bickering. There's a lot of bickering between you and your partner. Maybe you just want very different things. Keep in mind that you have the Five of Coins. The fives always represent that there's a problem, there's a challenge. But you also had the Devil down here. There is some type of negativity for Sagittarius. It could be fighting, I mean, fears, just kind of going at it, and I don't know, taking shots at each other. I don't always get that, but I feel like there's, like, you're having trouble relating to each other, and maybe you feel powerless as far as how to change this. So even though there's, you know, a struggle going on here, although it can also be that somebody is fighting themselves. I feel like that would be for an ex. Somebody's maybe fighting themselves as far as working things out with you. Maybe you're waiting for this person to come around. Either way, there is a strong connection between you, whether, you know, it's just a small glitch or there's huge problems. The Hierophant is a repeat card for you because it jumped and then I pulled it again. You are accurate in that feeling this person is kind of a soulmate, or you are accurate in feeling that this is the person you belong with. There are just some issues that you have to work on here with the Eight of Coins. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the X spread using this deck right here. I've already shuffled it, so let me get these out of the way. And as always with the X spread, it can be someone you had a long-term committed relationship with, or maybe it was someone that you dated a few times and you want to know if you're going to hear from them again. Okay, so let's see what comes up for you. Show us the energies around Sagittarius and their ex for July. Queen of Swords, Sagittarius and their ex for July. Queen of Cups, Sagittarius and their ex for July. Wow. King of Cups, Sagittarius and their ex for July. Two of Cups, Sagittarius and their ex for July. Four of Wands, Sagittarius and their ex for July. Here's the Eight of Pentacles again. Okay, so you have the energy of three people here. Now, you are a fire sign, and I don't see you here. The Queen of Swords would be an air sign. So Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Male or female, sun, moon, or rising. It can be you if you have a moon or rising in an air sign. You also have the King and the Queen of Cups. So this is a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. It can be you, or it can be your ex. But they're also opposites, so let's go ahead and look at that. If your ex, if you don't have any air or water in your chart and they don't either, this is what I see here. This is opposite energy. And again, we're looking at exes. We're looking at someone who is no longer in your life. You broke up for whatever reason. The Queen of Swords, let's talk about this first. The Queen of Swords likes to analyze the hell out of everything. She's not in touch with her emotions because she's been hurt in the past, and she just thinks, and thinks. She's very logical, and she likes to rationalize everything. The King and the Queen of Cups are the total opposite. They're very much in touch with their emotions and their intuition, and they know what they want, and they know what they feel, and they just go with that. So I feel like there's probably some strong differences between you and your ex. That's probably why you had this card in the first spread, the Five of Wands, where you're very different people. Maybe you just approach things in a very different way. Maybe, you know, you are really in touch with their emotions, and they like to analyze everything here. So I feel like for some of you, you're just kind of opposites in the way that you deal with issues. But also, I mean, the King and the Queen of Cups, this is a lot of emotion. And again, we're looking at exes only, not couples or singles. This is exes. For there to be 3 Cups cards, because there's another one down here, the Two of Cups, which is a soulmate card. I feel like there's a lot of emotion around your ex. And there can definitely still be a relationship. You have the Four of Wands, which is, this is stability. This is a relationship that has a firm foundation. I mean, there is a lot of work to do around it. You have the Eight of Pentacles, which is, this is a repeat card because it was in the first spread that I did for you. Here it is. So this is kind of the most important thing that you need to hear. Things with your ex are not hopeless. Again, Three Cups cards, that's a lot of emotion when I've only pulled 6. There's still a lot of feelings there between you and your ex. Also, the Queen of Swords, the King and the Queen of Swords come up when someone is doing a lot of thinking. So I feel like your ex is thinking of you, and maybe they're trying to analyze as far as what they should do next. I mean, it's a general reading, so it's hard to say whether you're the one doing all the thinking and maybe you're not in touch with their emotions. It could go either way. You'll have to kind of ask yourself, who is the one that kind of pushes the other person away? Who's the one that likes to rationalize everything? Who's in touch with their emotions? Is it you or is it your ex? It's one of you. You have the Soulmate card. So, I mean, there is a strong bond between you. Keep in mind that you also have the Hierophant as a repeat card in the first spread. It jumped for you. I put it back. It came up again. Now you have the Soulmate card. There's still a strong bond between you. This also represents just romantic love. So you have two energies here supporting that you and your ex can work things out with a lot of effort here. Eight of Pentacles, 2 times. It would need a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of dedication to making things work. But I feel with 3 Cups cards, there's still, the feelings are still there. It's just that somebody's doing a whole lot of thinking when they should really be listening to their emotions. Let me get a few more. Let's see what other messages come up for you. What other messages are there for Sagittarius about their ex for July? The Emperor. So they need to really take control. What other messages are there for Sagittarius about their ex for July? Wow, the Hierophant again. This is the 3rd time you've gotten this card. That is a huge message for you. Sagittarius and their ex for July. And the 7 of Pentacles. This is what I told you. There's a lot of thinking going on. The 7 of Pentacles is someone who is trying to be very, very careful. They're analyzing exactly what I just said about the Queen of Swords. The 7 of Pentacles is weighing your options. I feel like your ex is kind of, I don't want to say playing with the idea of getting back with you, but they're kind of thinking, should I or shouldn't I? And they're weighing their options. They're weighing the pros and cons of working things out, which we see right here. I mean, this is huge for you. 3 times this card has come up. Although keep in mind, for those of you where your ex is a Taurus, this is for you especially. But if your ex is not a Taurus, this is a card of kindred spirits and soulmates. It's just spiritual energy. You have a spiritual connection. As it is, you already have the soulmate card right here. So this is just confirming that you're not imagining it. It's not just in your head. There's a spiritual connection between you and your ex. But there's a lot of thinking here. This definitely ties in with the Queen of Swords. Someone is being very, very careful and they're weighing their options as far as coming back. You also have the Emperor. So, I mean, the Emperor, this is about somebody really needing to take control of the situation. So whoever it is, it's just thinking. They need to take action. The Emperor is about being in the driver's seat, taking control, making things happen. But instead, there's a lot of thinking going on here. But I feel like for many of you, you will see a change in July, maybe even in August. It's hard to say with these readings because I'm recording them in June. But, I mean, right here, that's huge for you, that there's still a connection there, especially this many Cups cards. Okay, so this is what you have. Again, just a lot of emotion. 1, 2, 3, a lot of emotion. And you also have the Soulmate card and a card of kindred spirits and soulmates. So that connection with your ex is still there. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the singles spread using this deck right here. I've already shuffled it, and you did have 1 jumping card for that spread. So let me go ahead and get these out of the way. Let me show you what jumped. The 5 of Wands. So again, this is a spread for those of you who are completely single and you're watching this because you just want to know, is July a good month for you to meet somebody new? Or maybe you have an ex, but you don't know if they're going to come back, or maybe you're not sure if you want them back. This is some type of conflict. It could be, you know, if let's just start for those of you where you're just completely single and you've been single for a long time. It can be that maybe, I feel like you need to be careful in the month of July when meeting people, because you might be meeting someone who's just not compatible with you. Because that's one of the energies from this card, just strong differences between you and someone, and it just creates conflict. But for others, you need to be ready to move on. Make sure that you're not kind of fighting yourself, or you're making yourself meet new people and then you don't really want to meet them, you don't want to connect with them. It's going to be that you're fighting something within you. Maybe you are ready to move on and you're just not doing it. But this can represent conflict and a struggle. Let's put it back in there. Show us the energies as far as Sagittarius meeting a new romantic partner in July. The Tower. Sagittarius meeting a new romantic partner in July. The Ace of Wands. Sagittarius meeting a new romantic partner in July. The Ten of Pentacles. Sagittarius meeting a new romantic partner in July. Four of Pentacles. Sagittarius meeting a new romantic partner in July. The Eight of Wands. Sagittarius meeting a new romantic partner in July. And the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so let's take a look at this. And again, this is for singles. I mean, there can definitely be a very unexpected new relationship that comes in for you. The Ace of Wands this is a new life for you, a new beginning. I also feel like this is just a very significant relationship for you, especially for those where you've been single for a long time. You will be surprised if you let somebody in, if you're ready to meet somebody new. I say if because I see you kind of holding back here, and you did have that energy with the Five of Wands, which had jumped for you, and I put it back in there. It didn't come up again, but this is similar. This is you maybe wanting to stay in your safe place. Maybe you don't want to take a risk in meeting somebody new. You definitely want to do that in the month of July, because with the Tower, this is perhaps a very unexpected new relationship, a very unexpected new love. This could be a clean slate for you, a fresh start, especially with this card coming up with it. The Ten of Pentacles, which did come up in the first spread from the confirmation deck. I'm looking at it right here. There is a very happy and stable relationship for singles, which could come in July. This can even be something that leads to marriage. You have the Nine and the Ten of Pentacles lined up here. This would be a whole kind of new beginning for you, a whole new life. Again, it takes you by surprise, but you don't want to play it safe. The Four of Pentacles. You don't want to hold back out of fear, because that's what this is. It's fear. Waiting. Here we go. The Eight of Wands. This means that, you've been waiting. You've been waiting for this new person to come in. You've been waiting to fall in love. You've been waiting to meet that special person. That moment is here. This means that you'd almost kind of given up hope. This means that there's just a lot of excitement around your love life in the month of July, if you allow it. If you don't allow it, then it won't happen. You have to really be open. And this could be a time for you to shine. You have the Nine of Pentacles, which is all about you, whether you're male or female. This just means that you can kind of be at your best. You can really kind of succeed in manifesting love in a relationship. Again, if you believe in yourself, I mean, it reads like a story. If you believe in yourself and you know that you deserve love and that this is the time for you to be happy, bang, it's there. 9, 10 of Pentacles. Once you believe in yourself and kind of, meeting the right people, not getting mixed up with the wrong kind of people, they're going to send you mixed signals. Once you know who you are and what you want, I mean, here it is. This is exactly what you've been waiting for here. You've been waiting for this stable relationship. This can even lead to marriage for some of you. Just the best advice I can give you is don't hold back. Don't choose to kind of play it safe when it means to meeting new people, because there is a very unexpected new beginning for you here. For many of you, it can lead to marriage, or it can just be a very significant relationship if you're ready to let this person in. Okay, Sagittarius, this has been your love reading for July 2019. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you again next month.